I don't have a lot of close friends. In fact, I have a couple of people I talk to sometimes and my family, and that's pretty much it. I know that occasionally I can come off as lectury, which I never want to be. I know very little about life. So I'll be the first one to say that. There's a lot I don't know. But if somebody says something that is legitimately wrong and I know it's wrong, my brain demands that I bring that up, and that is not a socially acceptable thing. Or if it is a socially acceptable thing, I don't know how to do it properly. I mean, and it gets really bad if you actually show someone evidence that they are wrong, because people don't want to be wrong. Me personally, if somebody says I'm wrong, normally, especially if they can back it up, I'm cool with that, because I know for a fact how much I don't know. Well, no, there's a lot of things I know I don't know that I don't know. You know? Anyway, so, it's like, in some ways I get people, and in many ways I really don't. Like, I get people from an outsider's perspective, right? You can watch humanity and go, oh yeah, clearly X, Y, and Z is happening with those people, and WVQ was happening with those. And it's so much easier to see it when you're outside of the situation. But when you are involved, it gets much more complicated because you are involved. And that seems, well, at least for me, that seems to overwhelm my capacity to think rationally. Which is why I've made some bad mistakes in the past with relationships that I've had, like my ex-husband, for one, and friends for another. Like, once I left high school, friending people was so much harder, and I can look back on that time and I can see it. In fact, I'm surprised I even had as many friends as I did in high school, to be honest. But when you're looking at your life and trying to figure out how you fix this peopling thing, it's just a giant question mark. Like, how the heck do you friend? It's more than just putting effort in, right? It's more than just being there and listening, right? Because, I mean, when I'm talking a friend, I'm talking a real one. One of those ride or die friends, the kind of friend that I want to be. I don't know how to find them and how to do that. It doesn't help either that I don't really go anywhere. Like, most of my relationships now are online or over the phone. Like, even though these, I maybe have had met these people in real life initially, now it is an entirely digital relationship because they are hundreds, if not thousands of miles away. So taking all of that into consideration and being here like, okay, obviously I want friends, but I'm not entirely certain how to achieve this goal. You can't exactly Google how to friend and expect to get real answers. It's like, Googling any number of ridiculous things and expecting a real answer. So, yeah, I can legitimately say that I, in some ways, very much want a friend, but at the same time, it's also kind of scary. Because, like anything, once you start that relationship, it comes with consequences. It comes with responsibility. And I don't know why, but responsibility is a terrifying thing. The consequences are very real. Whether that's potential to hurt the other person or to be hurt yourself. Or just to fade away, like has happened so often. I mean, people get wrapped up in their own lives, and it's not exactly like I don't understand that, because I get wrapped up in my own life all the darn time. Like, every day. So like, I get it. But then how do you make it work? How do you, wrapped up in your own life, set aside the time for the friendship? Like, do you do friend dates? Like, every week at X time on X day, we go out for coffee, or we go get a sandwich, or we go bowling, or, you know, insert fun activity here. It's such an interesting thing. And like, dating, same concept, only worse, because as many expectations come from friendships, romantic relationships are significantly worse, because they usually come with other strings attached. And yeah, as hard as it is to friend, that whole side of things is so much worse. So that's kind of where I'm at. Like, yeah, I can't even. The peopling thing, it's just one giant confusing thing. I'm in my 40s and I still haven't figured it out. You would think by this point I would have learned how to people. It's harder than it looks, and it doesn't come with an instruction manual, and even if it did, it probably wouldn't be written for somebody like me. You know? So yeah, I don't know. So why did I get so overwhelmed with that whole Midnight Hallow thing? Because I mean, really, I love the idea of the game. I love the idea of what I was doing. It's just, I realized that the tool I was using, just like Blender and just like, you know, even Krita and a bunch of these other programs, have so many more moving parts. Like, just to do one thing, you probably have like a billion different methods you could use to get there. And everybody I talked to or looked up or whatever have different ways of going about it, with some similar overlap and correlation, but for the most part, all different. And for those of you with ADHD out there, where you're just wanting to learn a thing, you want simple instructions, you want to be told how you do this, and once you know what you're doing, you feel like you can actually do it yourself. Nobody wants to give you those clear instructions. No, it all has to be so very complicated. Like, seriously, I just want do X, then Y, then Z, and that's it. Why can't it be that simple? But no, it never ever is. And really, honestly, trying to make a video game is like having like 10 full-time jobs that you have to be somewhat proficient in order to actually make something good. Well, I say that, like, you can use much simpler engines and just make 2D environments, or sorry, 2D games, and it's much simpler, but it's still complex. You still have a billion different things you have to learn how they work and how to do them. And art is a major part of that. So yeah, you're sitting here messing about with trying to figure out how characters work and trying to get your map, which don't have any insides to the buildings, with insides and then doors that actually open. And oh my goodness, as much as I love my little town, it's not going to work for my project either, because I actually need internals. And so if it were just like a first-person shooter where you could run around and all you're ever going to need is the outside, fine. If it were just one level and you were only there for a little while, fine. It would work great. But for what I actually need it for, not going to work, friend, because you actually need to be able to use the town like an actual town and not just a facsimile of a town. So yeah, that was a fun puzzle. And that's not even getting into trying to figure out how to get the character, the non-player characters, the NPCs, to actually be useful. Like, I can get them to, well, run around just fine, but it's not just that. I need to actually make them look like people and not robots, and I need them to be able to talk to people, and I need them to have some kind of logic involved where they can make choices based on the situation. It's like, that in and of itself, just by itself, was ridiculously difficult to figure out what I was doing. So I'm like, okay, this is too much. This is like going to the grocery store for a carton of eggs and being told there are like a gazillion different types of egg, all of them necessary in one way or the other, and you have to make a decision like right now. Like that, it's a silly way of trying to describe it, but that's what it feels like. It's like billions of options, billions of opportunities, but no idea where to start.